Ah, plants. They are something we see every day and pay little attention to. From flowers to bushes to trees and the grass that is beneath our feet. Ah, here we have a bush. This is a fine and excellent example of a plant. Here it is flowering and it attracts many insects to it, such as bees who help pollinate and provide us with food. Without the little humble bee, we would be nowhere. These flowering bushes are also a sound that signals in the start of spring. It is the flower that sprays never-ending amounts of pollen into the air. Bugs and bees sure do love this stuff, as we humans tend to hate it ourselves as it causes dry and itchy eyes and sneezes from everyone. You will notice the bright colors attract life. Look as the people walking around can't help but stop and look at the flowers. Hey, you. Stop and look at this dumb pollen monster. Well, fine. No one likes flowers anyways. Now, let's transition over to the tree. No, that's not quite a tree. Oh, the horror, the corpse of one of nature's greatest organisms. Let's move away from this grotesque sight and not look at what a tree has become in its afterlife as flooring and housing for all of us. Ah yes, a pinus, or as you people know it, a pine tree, which is commonly found in the conifer family. And you can tell that this is a pinus tree by the fact that it has pine cones. Ah, the dog, with a fluffy butt in the tall, itchy grass. He is also another pollinator that is important to nature. As the pollen sticks to his furs, he runs around and spreads things. He is not the greatest at tree reproduction, but he does eat sticks and drag those across the land. Look at him go, a magnificent beast in the tall grass. We will be hearing from him shortly. This is the tree, the noblest thing we can find in nature. Well, I know many of you say mammals might take that spot, but they don't provide us with air, even though dogs are pretty swell. The tree towering above us, roots that soak up all the nutrients, evergreens that are evergreen. Ah, here's a pine tree. As you can see, it is quite round and strong, and trees shoot out from every available area, so they can equally get sun and grow. You can even see from the underside of the tree that it is quite impressive and looks quite inviting to climb on. Many tree houses are built in such trees as this. These silly small trees who are just growing and planting serve a great role. Many dogs like to use these as bathrooms. As you can see, trees enhance our environment. Magazines illustrate the importance of trees. Even in a blank barren wall in this magazine is nothing. But let's see what happens when we add trees to the mix. Oh yes, it's coming along quite nicely. Yes, as you can see, trees add all the difference. This was a once boring hallway, and now it is exciting and vibrant with now the viewing of trees as if you're in a forest. Ah, one of nature's greatest pollinators, a bee, as it sits here in the flower. Yes, the bee. Ah, the Fibonacci sequence. It is very important to know this when it comes to how the pattern of a pine cone works, as this is how their little spaces are done on their little spiny things that hold the seeds of pine trees. Great things indeed. Here we have a creature in nature, a chipmunk. He is hard to see and blends quite well with this fallen log. It is important that these guys are around as they eat seed and help spread and regrow forests. An amazing creature he is. Ah, a dog. Let's go and ask how this person interacts with trees. Or I guess we should say mammal. Ah, very good. Is there anything you would want us to know about the tree? Ah, yes. More barking. Not quite what we understand, but I think we get the gist. This line of questioning does not seem to be working very well. Let's move on to another expert. Ah, I see we are still looking at the dog. That wasn't quite the plan, but let's move on to his owner and leave this fine bloke alone. Oh yes, your dog is quite fine. You do not need to worry about him.
As pine cones grow straight up vertically, which is rather unique in pine trees, but we always see those ones. As you probably noticed, you'll see pine cones when they grow down and clumps. These grow just by themselves and straight up. Very unique. And they're also very unique to the Northwest. You don't really see them outside of the valley and the Cascades, which is just makes them extra special because that's where we live. Oh yes, the dog is definitely mine. He's a pretty good thing, you know. He does turn barking on trees, but he's a pretty good expert. He likes to take the sticks right off the tree and run around and whack the tree trunks and pee on them and all sorts of crazy things he does. You know, dogs are crazy. They like to pick up the sticks and run around and beat people with sticks and chase things and go through small doorways and all sorts of things. He's a pretty good tree expert. He knows this eventually.
If there's one thing in nature the tree cannot defend itself against, it is trains. Oh wait, wrong script. It is toxic waste. The horrible things seeping into nature and all the radioactive materials will never make it great. But today, it deforesters great swaths of land and makes it very unlivable. And commonly, we can find great deposits of arsenic, asbestos, cadmium, chromium, clinical waste, cyanide, lead, mercury, and PCBs all in this. Maybe in the future this will lead to great mining deposits. Well, if this music would ever die down, I could really tell you about the horrors of toxic waste. Wait, no, don't play it louder. I can only talk at this one volume. Oh well, it's not like you guys cared anyway. There's also clear cutting, but nobody cares about that because houses keep us warm. Well, there you have it, folks. Another chapter in the great story of toxic waste. Oh, I meant trees.